Welcome to Inside Straight. I'm Larry Mazza, your host. I wasn't here last week, so my co-host, Kelly, took charge, and she did a great job with the help. But you got a lot of good comments, a lot of good thumbs up. I saw it all. And, of course, we had Brandon from First Pillar, who was behind the machine as always, and he's always a big help.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm happy to be back. I had a little trip, a business trip, and I do know one of the questions sort of will have me touch on that, so I won't get too deep into that. But it was a nice overnight to New York. So
he doesn't travel well, let's be honest.
Yeah. No, I'm not a flyer. I wish I could just drive or take the train everywhere. But it was an overnight, so I had to get there.
Yes.
So anyway, we get those couple of comments in to get us rolling.
Okay, I will. All right, so this one you must have picked. Lisa from New York.
I did not.
Kelly, can you leave Larry home more often?
Well,
it was just a fast show. That's what they appreciated.
Well, no, I mean, I could see they like looking at you, but they like my picks.
That's true.
So,
I think that's the point of the whole thing.
Unless you start dancing on a pole or something, the picks are more important. That's what we're here for.
Well, they got to make money to pay for the pole dancing, so they have to have your picks. Okay, so Kyle from Michigan, your NBA has been spot on.
Yeah, I'm glad he mentioned that. We didn't give out too many NBA games because it's early in the season, and like I said, you got to get some momentum and get past the opening jitters where people are not playing and who knows who's really that good and things like that. The NBA is a very fickle league. Out of all the leagues, like hockey players come to play every night, football players come to play, baseball, same guys every night on that field. The NBA, it's just if they get a sprained toe, you don't see them for a month. But that being said, yeah, we had 2 games last week, and typically I will forward them to you when they are double or triple bangs. One guy plays it among 4 or 5 games. We're not going to give you 5 games to go bet. But 2 that come to mind, there was a game where they got some information on Miami, and they played it with the under. Both came out easily. Another game the next night was the Bucks, and they put it with the over. Again, they knew who was in, who was out, and once they had that info, they were able to come up with winners ahead of the odds maker and ahead of the public and ahead of Vegas. So those we got out early. Those were real good. The other night, we also put it out as a play of the day. We do that for marketing with our marketing team, and one of them was the Knicks. It was easily a 4-goal ball play because they hit it in 4 different places. So they could not get enough money on the Knicks. In Denver, which isn't an easy place to play, they won by about 25 points. That's a blowout in the NBA. So that was a real good one. They gave us over in the Sacramento Oak City game. Easily went over. It was in the 220s. They scored in the 230s. So, yeah, the NBA's been good. Keep your eye on that. Read the comments. They're very important because, like last night, we had a game in college. They actually lost by a point. College baskets. We laid 13, and they won by 12, I believe. But who knows, that's just a bounce of the ball. But there were 3 other games I mentioned. They played Kentucky, UCLA, and another one. And I said, let's see if they double bang it. They didn't. They were winners. But if they don't double bang it, I don't want you playing it. It's just too many games out there every night. We like to zero in, and if we come up with something we like. So the ones we put out, we were in agreement with. So, NBA's been good. NFL was great until this last weekend. I don't know what happened, but it was not a good weekend for the NFL. But college was real good, and it's something I always say about the picks. You may see 1 or 2 losers. You may see I go 1 and 3 or 2 and 4, and you say, he's cold. And then all of a sudden, bang, there's 8 straight wins. Saturday we did it. We'll go over those games in a minute after we finish up our last of our comments.
Okay, so a New York Dodgers fan.
It's in orange. That means it just came in.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Very good.
Yeah, I know how you work.
Yes. So a New York Dodgers fan. And Dodgers get Snell.
Oh, he's a New York Dodgers fan?
Yeah.
No, he's a New York Yankee fan.
Oh.
New York Yankee fan, Lou.
I got you.
Yes, Lou. I mean, I know. After they dismantled your Yankees, they go and get Snell. That's a message for the rest of the league. They want to win a few back-to-back and whatever. Sometimes teams rest on their laurels, but that's a great pickup for sure. $180 million worth they had to pay. But he certainly is right up there for Cy Young already. With that lineup behind him and the way he pitches, I mean, he can win 20 to 25 games. Only problem is they take them out too soon. He does pitch deep into games, however. So great pickup. So the Yankees better do something about their pitching, or they'll just be a hanger-on again, just like last year.
Has been?
Not a has-been, because they still got Judge and great players, and, they'll probably win their division or get a wild card. But until you have pitching, you can't win a World Series. The Dodgers didn't have great pitching, but they won it. But neither did the Yankees. So it was just I had the right matchup. I did cash that. So, all right, I'm going to move on to last week's. We'll talk about some of them. I just mentioned this. I believe I was 0-3 on some. Pittsburgh was a bit over Miami. We just missed that one, but it was a loser. Over Carolina, Coastal Carolina. But then we heated up. After that little something, I was shaking my head. We catch Boston College as an underdog money line. We parlayed them with the over. We had both of those as picks. Came out easily. Boston College beat North Carolina. They were underdogs. They won the whole game, and the game went over. I had in my blog, I gave you a 3-way round robin. Boston College, East Carolina, and Florida Atlantic. East Carolina won. They was the very first pick of the week that the Wise Guys played, and we just kept pumping it out there in the blogs. Remember that game. Get down on it now. Won easily. Well, I shouldn't say that. The second half, they won easily. It was tight early. They were actually behind, stormed back, and just blew them away late. The Boston College was one of them. If all three would have won, for, I want to say, $100, you would get $1,200 back. And Florida Atlantic also got off to a bad start, came back, took the lead, and then they fumbled the ball away. So that was a heartbreaker. But when you hit 2 out of 3 in round robins, especially with money lines, you're going to earn. Okay, if you take the points, you're still not going to lose. You're going to earn a little bit. But the money line, you probably still pick up $400 on that, just hitting 2 out of 3. Okay, then we had Marshall. They won. We had over the Syracuse game. Not the cereal game, the Syracuse game. They won. Over South Florida. And my quote in the analysis, you won't want to be rooting for offense in this one. The final score was in the 80s. The total was, I think, 61, 59. It wasn't off the charts high. It was high, but they went into the 80s. And like I said, if you were rooting for under, yeah, you left at halftime because you were a loser. I threw in 2 blowout specials. We had Georgia way higher than the odds maker, and we had Tennessee way higher. They were very high already, like 44 points. Georgia won by about 40, did not cover. Tennessee won 59-0, and I think I predicted 59-3 on that game. You can go look. I brought my computer, but I forgot my password, so I can't get on it. It's a help. But next time I'm going to have my computer working too, because I like to read those analysis so you'll learn how to use this service. It's not all about telling you to go bet your house on something. I'm never going to do that. I tell you that each week. But you will get good information. You'll get a good analysis. And sometimes you're going to agree wholeheartedly. Go for it. If you don't, use discretion. We've continued on with our winning streak. Louisiana Lafayette. Wise Guys went the other way. We bucked the system. We told you Lafayette, they won. Over Texas State was a Wise Guy game. It was also our game. We agreed wholeheartedly, and it was an easy win over Texas State. That was one of the 3 games we gave out on Free Friday. We give out the 3 picks on Friday. East Carolina over Texas State. I forget the other one. I'm pretty sure we were 3-0, but at least 2-1. I know we had those 2. Central Michigan was a winner. We had them plus the money line, plus the point spread. Right there, you're a winner. We did like the over. It didn't get over. So, but still, if you played Michigan with the money line and straight, Central Michigan, big winner. I mentioned East Carolina. Then we put out a blog. We had 3 games that we analyzed and we liked but we don't want to put it out there as a pick because I like to wait and see if the wise guys do anything. But it was Missouri, USC, and Oregon State. They all won. Florida Atlantic, the one that cost me the round robin, lost after coming all the way back. In our blog on Saturday, we had our inside info guy on horses. Nothing fixed or anything like that, but he's friends with the timers at a lot of tracks. He knows a lot of trainers. He actually travels to the hottest track that's open, and right now it's Churchill Downs. There are other good tracks too, Aqueduct and whatever, but wherever he goes, he calls us. And last week he gave us 2 exacta boxes, 586, 589. It came out and paid $36 the exacta, which again, when you're not getting $7 exactas, $36 is a nice price. The beauty was, if you understand horse racing, 586 and 589, 5 and 8 are the keys. So if they both come out first and second, you hit both boxes. Lo and behold, that came out. So you hit it twice. Most people would be happy just hitting the 36 once. You know, if you did it for $20, it's $360, and it cost you, less than half of that. But you hit it twice. Few races later, we had 978, 973. Same scenario. The 9 and 7 were the keys, but he thought there was sleeper horses that could sneak in. Always happens in the races, you know that. What do you think came out? 9-7. So you hit them both. Paid $40. $40 exacta is a good exacta to hit. So I did them for like $20. $20. So I got back 400 twice. That's 800 less the 240 it cost. So that's almost a $600 profit. And on the other one, $20. On the other one, it was a little less of a profit, but great on the horses. Soccer. I threw a couple out last week because they're coming up with these weird games. Wolfsburg, Ligby. I can't even find them. I got to actually go into a search and find where these teams come from. But the first week, they lost the first one. The second one was a total, I believe it pushed. Then this week comes and they're 2-0-1. Wolfsburg was one of them. Wolfsburg. It's got to be Germany or something, right?
I would think.
Yeah, I think it was there or Sweden. It could have been Swedish. But this is where they find games in soccer. That's why I'm afraid of them. But they won. And we put it out there. We told you that the wise guys played Wolfsburg. 2 outfits zeroed in on Wolfsburg. Think about that, you know? So there's something there. There's something to be known. So when we put out those soccer games, you might want to follow them because they're not picking them out of a hat. The NFL, I'm not even going to talk about. I'm so upset over the week. I think we went like 1-4. We did lose a heartbreaker in the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game. We won the first half; it stayed under, but the second half, it didn't go crazy, but it got to the point where a final score would win it. That final score put it over. If they could have stopped them, it would have stayed under. Loser. And the one thing that really hurts me is because I have an excellent record this year on my teaser specials. They don't lose. I mean, I've been hitting them all year. 2 teamers. Sometimes I get greedy or I get, not greedy, what's the word? I want more points. That's greedy. So I do 3 or 4 team teasers. They're harder to hit. You got to hit 4 teams. I don't care if you got 10 or 13 points. It's not easy. But the 2 team teasers, we're the 7-point favorite at home. They've been winning all year. Okay? This week, we had the first one in Miami. The second one, Houston. The Texans. The kicker hit 12, just set a record, hitting 12 field goals of 50-plus yards. That's good. Mm-hmm. That's a solid, good kicker. But he missed a 20-yarder at the end to cost me the teaser. So, you know, what do they say? Spit happens?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. All right. So Friday and Saturday, we have games in several. Game 325, 321. I got to get back to work on these. 343, 355. The wise guys already played under in the Central Michigan game. Okay? That's game 355. I'm just giving you that one as a freebie. They played it. I believe I handicapped that game and agree with one of the teams not scoring at all. But I think Northern Illinois can score. So I'm going to wait till we put that in a pick. We may have a side also if it correlates with the under-over. But the Wise Guys played 355 under. 359, I like Navy. They're a money line underdog. I'm going to put that out. We'll put a little analysis, see what you think. They're a reasonably sized underdog. It's not like 2 or 3 points. I want to say it's like 6 or 7. So if they could pull off an upset at those numbers, you can cash in big. 373 is a Wise Guy and inside straight play. 407, we have a live dog in the Tulsa game. That's all I have written there, but you want to log on and get those because I love those live dogs. The money lines, that's where you're going to earn. The weekend, there's something I wanted to talk about with your games right now. I put it on the blog, and then you can get to the questions if you want. When you handicap this time of the year, there's a lot of things you have to bring in that you might not have done in September and October. You know, September, October, everybody's alive. They're playing for the championship. They're playing to get to big bowl games or the playoffs. As you get closer to this time of the season where there are bowl games and you lose a big game, you're dejected because you just went from possibly playing in the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. But if you lose a game, you just went from the Rose Bowl to the toilet bowl. You know, you're not playing in a big bowl game. So now if you were expecting to play in the Rose Bowl and you're going to play in the toilet bowl, you just don't get up for the game. It's hard. It's hard. It's just, you know, because the toilet bowl game's probably somewhere in, I don't want to, I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings, New York or Jersey. But the Rose Bowl is in Pasadena.
Yes, it
Beautiful weather. They
Yes.
have a parade. You know, what do they do with the toilet bowl? Throw toilet paper out at the players? I mean, you know, so anyway, there's a bunch. And what was that other bowl game? I was laughing the other night. I called it, I don't know if anybody saw the movie with Steve Martin, All of Me.
Oh, yes.
Right? When he's in half.
Yes.
She's
takes
in
his half.
And the guy, they got this Swami guy, and he goes, back in the bowl.
Yes.
So I'm going to do a back in the bowl game.
Okay.
And maybe they can go play that one. So anyway, very, very important. What they're playing for. Some teams will be so excited about going to the bowl game, and that's where the upsets come. You'll get a team like, you know, Northern Illinois that's playing in a bowl game, and they're happy to be there, and a team like, let's just say, Mississippi, who just gets knocked out at the last week, out of the contention for the playoff, they're just not going to be excited about playing that game. Very, very important. Also on holidays like Thanksgiving, the home team does not have an advantage. As a matter of fact, it's arguable that the road team has an advantage. Right. And let me tell you why. For the road team, business as usual. We're going to use the Green Bay-Miami game Thursday. Miami is getting on a plane probably Tuesday or Wednesday, the very latest today, okay? They're going to get there, if they're not there already, away from their families, really not thinking about Thanksgiving because they're not having dinner with their families. The kids aren't bringing the cousins and the brothers and sisters aren't coming over. They're going to be on the football field. They play Thursday night, so they are not getting home for Thanksgiving. It's out of their minds. It's all business. They got to play. Now, if you're Detroit, okay, you're at home. Mm-hmm. And most of the Detroit Lions earn enough money that they live in nice areas in Michigan, maybe 40 minutes away on the lake or one of those Ann Arbor beautiful places. So they're going to go there. They're already thinking about that house full of family, loved ones, and the turkey, and just having a great time with the family and the kids and their loved ones. So they're thinking about that. And it's human nature, okay? And I remember hearing that from John Madden years ago when he's done, boom, boom, I want this turkey. Give me that turkey leg. Remember John Madden? He was great. And he talked about that. He said it was harder when you were home. I never forgot it. This is way back. I made a note of it. I never forgot it. And if you're home, it's a distraction. You'd rather be on the road for a holiday. So keep that in mind when you think Detroit's going to blow out the Bears. Yeah, on paper, But I did that hit. I did that game. I only got them 10. I put it in the blog. I analyzed the 3 games. I didn't put out picks yet, but I got Chicago, Detroit minus 10. That's what the line is, maybe 10.5. So the numbers add up. I probably didn't give Detroit as much for home field, so that tightened it up. Same with the next game, Dallas and Giants. You know how I feel about the Giants, and I feel the same way about Dallas now. They're 2 teams that are just going nowhere. In the near future, they're not going anywhere. They're just bad. They've lost it. 2 good organizations, too, just lost it. So I don't even know why people have to sit home and watch that on Thanksgiving. It's horrible. But the late game, Green Bay and Miami, we're going to have something there. My numbers show me already offense. So I got to wait on the weather. A couple of times I got screwed. They said it was going to rain and be cold, and it wasn't. It might have been chilly, but the rains never came, and that's, so I want to see what Green Bay is going to be like, because it's at night. So if it's chilly and windy, Miami just doesn't seem to like that. Even, though it's not supposed to be an advantage, the extreme heat is. So that's that. And what else do we have?
I think we're down to questions.
Okay.
So, Jen from New York, where did you get the exactor plays at Churchill's Downs?
I explained a little bit about that. I forgot we had a question on the horses. Well, like I said, we have some people in the industry, some trainers, some drivers, some owners. This one in particular travels to tracks in his RV. And he is a great handicapper. He hit the Derby, Cole, the Triple, 1, 2, 3. He had a couple of other big races with us. He's friends with the timers at a lot of these tracks. So that's where we get him from. There's never a fix. If it was a fix, I wouldn't be here. But, it's good information. Good handicappers, too.
Okay, Dave from LA. My whole family read your book and follow your podcast. Anything major coming?
Yeah. Well, I was just in New York. I mentioned that, and I was there to meet a couple of producers and my dear friend Mike Dowd from the 7-5. A lot of you know that name. He was at one time the most corrupt cop in the history of New York until the mob cops came along and knocked him down to second. But he was on my show. He has a great documentary. He's always working on stories about it, if he could get his book and his movie. But they're doing something called Dinner with Gangsters. And I was invited to be at least a guest on the show, maybe more as we move forward, because I gave them some ideas, because we had an idea similar to that a while back. And I gave them some of those ideas. So they may make, there may be something bigger for me and Mike. We'll see. But it was a good meeting and opened some doors. I've got, we still have Terry Winter. He's on the Tulsa King, but he wrote the script. We have a conference call Tuesday with Joe Paletto, my producer, Armand DeSante, my dear friend and one of my favorite actors, Craig DeFrancia, also a dear friend, but a great actor, who's just missing his signature role, and it could be in the life. Hopefully it happens. So we're all going to be on a Zoom Tuesday discussing moving this forward even while Terry's on the Tulsa King. It shouldn't stop us from moving forward. We sat back and waited, but now we got to move forward. We're not asking Terry in any way to step down or anything. We want him to supervise, do whatever he can to help, but we have to try to get this done before I die. Okay? I'm 64. I'm going to be dying soon.
Really? No, I don't think so.
All right. Maybe not that soon, but...
we'll increase your vitamins.
It's 10 years we're working on this, And
well, how long did it take for, I hear you paint houses?
The Irishman. It took long, but you know why? Because they had 10 other projects worth $20 million each that they did. I don't have that. I have one project. One. Okay? This. So it has to get done. Okay. We also have my friend Richard Haas. He has a play written. He's tweaked it. We've discussed different things about that, and he's getting some serious traction. There is a agency that wants to do it, so I'm going to be hearing more about that in the next week or two. He's a very, very excitable guy. He is very optimistic. If 10% of what he says happens, will have a nice play and a nice gig. So that's in the works. I mentioned Dinner with Mobsters first. So yeah, there's a lot going on. The book is still selling fairly well. I mean, every time I do a podcast, not this one so much, but when I do a new podcast, we get a spike in sales. So you'll see me on podcasts still. I'm not going to stop doing them anytime soon. So, yeah.
Okay. What do you think about Trump's picks?
Well, he loses every week. No, I'm only kidding. No, Trump's picks, what's not to like? Let's start with that. As far as the economy, he's got Elon Musk and Ramaswamy, Vivek Ramaswamy. These guys are brilliant capitalistic minds. So if they can't help balance or correct the budget over time, nobody can. Okay, those guys have proven themselves over. So those are great picks. Let them get rid of some waste. Let them tweak things. So maybe inflation and oil prices and other things that make our lives better. I love those two picks. The person that's there now, I don't even know her name. That little old woman with the white hair. When they ask her a question, she talks like a parrot. She looks like a parrot with white hair. Yeah, and she lies to your face. Oh, inflation is. What was the word? Statutory or not statutory? There's a word. I says, what does that mean? Transitory. It's transitory. Okay, it's been transitory for the last 4 years. It hasn't changed. It keeps getting worse. So I'm glad to see she'll be gone. I hate looking at her and hearing her lies to me.
That's
lies to all of us, not just to me. I also like the border czar. The guy he put out there, he's an ex-Border Patrol guy, he's an ex-soldier, he's a patriot, and he's going to walk the walk. He's not just talking the talk. And he also said that if anyone who's bleeding blue in some of these states are going to not help, like the governors and stuff like that. What's that guy in California? What's his name again? Newsom. Yeah. If he's not going to help, he told him, just stand back. Don't impede us because that's against the law and we'll charge you. You know, don't impede our progress. You don't have to help, but do not get in our way. We're going to get rid of these illegal aliens that are killing people, raping people, and that's a good thing. The latest one he took, well, the one that even we had said was maybe that Matt Gaetz. Yeah, we met him. He was in our restaurant, and when he was there, he was a younger guy with a group of friends, having a good time. I didn't look at him and say, oh, look at this, just a regular. He was probably 25 when we met him. Right? Now, what is he, 45? It's 20 years ago.
No, that's too long.
No, maybe too long,
10 years ago.
But anyway, we knew he was like a little bit of a wild card and maybe was pushing the envelope a little bit to see what he got. But the guy did the right thing, I think. He said, I'm not going to cause trouble here. I'm stepping down. He walked away from it. And the girl he put in, the blonde girl from Florida, I think, seems to be a good pick. She's no nonsense, very fair, it looks like. So I like what he's doing so far. And you know what? When you're down here, it's not too hard to improve. They brought it so low, this country, that it's going to be easy to improve. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any updates on NFL and college champs?
Yes. You thought I was going to say no.
No.
Well, my NFL, I'm standing behind my picks. I have Detroit and Green Bay to play Baltimore, Houston. Those are my big numbers because I did it early before the season started. I threw out the 49ers. I threw out the Chiefs. I did add Buffalo. So I have Buffalo, Baltimore, and Houston to face off against Green Bay or Detroit. I love Detroit. I think Detroit's going. I think they're going. They're going to get there because it's going to go through their stadium. And that's a tough stadium to play at. It gets loud. So I really like Detroit a lot to get there. And I've had them since the start. So it's not like I'm jumping on the bandwagon. They are making me look good right now. And as far as college, I've talked about Ohio State all year. I thought they were as talented as anybody. I think Oregon's going to get beat. I think they can get beat, especially if they play Ohio State a second time. I've said that. Indiana, they're not going to make it. They're not going to win it. They won't beat Georgia. They won't beat Ohio State. I don't even think they could beat Alabama, and they're not even in it. There's a couple of other teams. Texas, I just don't think they're going to do it. Again, the few games they played, tough. Well, one, Georgia annihilated them. It's one game, but their schedule just wasn't formidable enough for me. Tennessee is still in it. I like them. If they would have played a better second half in the Georgia game, boy, I would like them a lot. Mississippi's tripling out of it. But my sleeper, here's my sleeper. And I've been watching them since they lost to Northern Illinois early in the season, like game 3. Okay. They were 2-0. They lost that game, went to 2-1, and have not lost since. Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a powerhouse on defense. Their quarterback has gotten better and better, and they said that would be that he had to gel with that team coming from somewhere else, the portal system. Right. Their offense is very, very good. It's not a powerhouse like Tennessee or Mississippi or some of these other teams, but it's a minor notch below. They can score, but their defense is top 3, and I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame is hanging around at the very end in that championship game. And they're good odds. You'll find good odds on that. And one more thing came in today while we were getting here. I got a call that some sharp outfits are going to be betting Gonzaga to win the tournament that starts today. It's a holiday tournament. I forget the name of it because there's 3 tournaments. One in Hawaii, which is, I think, the Maui Classic. There's another one in the West Coast. I believe that's the Gonzaga one. So whatever one that is, there's a third one in the southeast or east. But those are tournaments. They do them during the holidays, and they're playing Gonzaga. And the exact quote to me was, "Get down before the line moves." So Gonzaga is probably plus a small number because they're never going to be a long shot. You may get maybe 2-1 on them. I don't even know. I'm not sure because I got the call on the way here. But once I get back to the computer, I'll check on it, and we'll put it on the site. We'll put it on our blog to let you know that happened. Because by the time you see the show actually tonight, it may be too late. I'm not sure about all the times because, again, just got that call. But if you Gonzaga to win their tournament.
Right, but we did put that out as a pick today.
We did?
I think we did.
I don't.
Yes, I think we did. I think we put it out to our team on our way here.
Oh, we told the marketing team. Oh, we told the marketing. After I got the call, we called our marketers and told them to put that out as a play today. Yes. Yeah.
And there was a play.
But that's not going to be on our picks yet. That's just going to be to who they market.
Right, and any of our members will get that email.
Oh, he sends that to them too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
So they should get that.
Okay. Yep. So you will be getting it, members. I think that's it. We have another one?
We just have one. It's kind of a comment, kind of a question. It's came in late, but I'm going to start it, and then I'm going to see if you could guess who it is. Saquon Barkley. If Saquon Barkley wins MVP at about 70-1, does Joey MX go to the legend status?
Yes, he does. He not only picked him, he also picked Travis Henry on Baltimore, which is also a good pick. They're both certainly alive. But Saquon Barkley, yes, he'll be a legend at 70-1. We'll have to put his picture next to mine on Inside Straight.
There you go. But you said seriously, you talked about this a couple months ago.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it. We gave it out. We said that would be a good play, and I think I was way short on the odds. I don't think I gave the true odds at 70-1. I think I said 17-1, so I must have misunderstood him. But it was 70-1. So anybody that played Barkley, and he's got probably 2 MVP style games. Over and above, and he's got some highlight plays that they keep showing, and that's a good thing because I think he gets picked by the media or sportscasters. I think they pick those. And remember, check the odds for Blake Snell.
Yes.
Cy Young next year. He's in what a position to do it with that team. I don't see how he loses too many games. Because he's a tough pitcher to begin with. So we will see you soon. We want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you we'll see you next week. So we won't talk about the holidays yet. But Kelly's buying me a nice gift for Christmas. And we'll tell you.
Do you want to tell him what it is?
No, I'm not going to tell him yet because you said it's a surprise.
Well, then how do you know?
Because I have an idea. I don't know for sure. And I'm just a gift that keeps giving, so.
There is a true statement there.
So we'll talk about the Christmas things
as it gets closer.
As we get closer, but enjoy your day. Hopefully you're the home team. I'm on the road, so I get the advantage. And remember, you are now all good fellas with Inside Straight. And if you haven't joined yet, join and be a winner. Thank you.
Bye.